So you see, witchcraft is an act of supernatural force. So they have demonized it to be diabolic, to be so evil, and eventually the people who mastered the craft of witchcraft or the art of witchcraft were tarnished. Greetings to each and everybody. It's been a while. I say blessing, protection, and guide from our within God into our lives. People have been asking me, what is witchcraft? This question is a question that has a lot of diversities. It has a lot of explanation, because witchcraft is something that has been demonized in our society for centuries. Because witchcraft is an act, or is an art, that when one discovers it and understands it very well, one gets out from societal control, one gets out from the matrix, one gets out from the political control. And you see, your society doesn't want you to grow. Your society doesn't want you to be wise. Your society doesn't want you to become the master to your own affairs. Your society always wants to control you. Your society always wants you beneath their feet. This is what your leaders always does. This is why they have now politicized with the pure, spiritual practice and turn it into what? Into religion, into garbage, into, a lot of stories that some of these stories doesn't make sense. Okay, because they always don't want you to get to your higher destination. Because once it happens that you've gotten to your higher destination, they may no longer have a grip on your life. So you see, witchcraft is an act of supernatural force. It's when one has finally discovered, or one has finally become so conscious of that supreme energy, or that supernatural power, supernatural force that dwells within himself, and master the craft of that supernatural energy. So when one become conscious of this supernatural craft, supernatural energy, and one masters the craft of this energy, one becomes a hero, one becomes the emperor, one becomes the king to his own affairs, to his own life. So because the elites, the leaders knew about this, the politicians knew about this, the so-called white people, the Westerners, they knew about it. So this is what they did. They've now demonized the supernatural crafts of we the blacks. They've now demonized it to be what? To be evil, diabolic. So they have demonized it to be diabolic, to be so evil, and eventually the people who mastered the craft of witchcraft, or the art of witchcraft, were tarnished. So out of anger, out of pity, out of sorrow, out of pain, some of these ancient masters did so many hurtful things, horrible things, out of emotions, out of anger, out of pain. And this energy eventually became into something. When you don't have the mastering, the pure mastering of it, then it will now lead you into astray. Because for centuries now, it has been demonized, it has been tempered with, it has been been in chaos for a long time. The leaders of this society, the leaders of these crafts, many of them were murdered, they were killed, they were hunted, they were destroyed, they were burnt. So some of these pure masters, out of grievance, the energy of the witchcraft, which is the Kundalini energy, have risen to a certain level of what? Of range. And that level of range, some of these masters couldn't have control over that range. They couldn't control the range to a certain level to calm it down into harmony, into peace. Then it became so intense, then it became so dangerous. So witchcraft is itself, it is not a dangerous thing when one get to know it into details, into the core, when one understands how the craft is, how to maneuver or manipulate the energy to his own advantage, to the positive part and to the positive way. Witchcraft is never a bad thing. But you see, when you do not understand the craft, because of the craft, the energy has been dualized. Some were haunted, so it has now dualized into two parts: a negative part, which is the anger side of it, and the harmony part of it. The harmony part of it was so peaceful, which is the harmonious part of it, is so peaceful, so happy, and so lovely and joyful. Whereas the aggression part of it is so aggressive, so dangerous, so chaotic, so horrible, because of what? The tension of what they went through. The energy flew into that range of what? Of anger. So if you are a person, or if you are a type of person who easily gets angry, okay, when you are practicing to master your witchcraft energy, which is your supernatural power, the Kundalini is the first portal of witchcraft. When you begin to practice this thing, and you are a type of person who easily gets angry, then eventually, if you didn't have anybody to mentor you, to guide you on the track, to take you through the route, then eventually it becomes evil. That is when people may think that you are a killer, because at the moment you get angry about, you get upset about somebody or something, then it turns into what? Into negative. Then the person, something will definitely happen to the person, because already you have an aggression heart or an aggression energy. You always get angry. You easily get angry. Okay, so when you easily get angry and somebody did something to you, your anger will easily rise because you can't control it. Once that thing happens, then eventually you tap into the aggression power of that energy, that supernatural force that was released by the ancient masters who were hunted, who were killed, who were destroyed. During that pain, that moment, they released a certain energy that was so dangerous. Then eventually, then you tap into that. Then if care is not taken, you begin to destroy. At the moment you get angry, at the moment you get upset about something, then something negative will happen. And if you are a type of person who easily gets jealous of people, and you started practicing this, supernatural craft, which is the witchcraft. You started, training, making your training or doing your training to master the craft of this supernatural energy, and you easily get jealous about people's success, about people's destiny, about people's positivity. Then at the moment you get jealous about somebody, about somebody's fortune, about somebody positive news, about somebody good news, then eventually you see that it will not happen to the person, for the person. Then you see that the person will now start facing hardship or bad luck because your energy decided that the person will not get it, because you have heard it and you got jealous, and that witchcraft energy has already been sparked within you. Definitely it will take the part of the negative, because you yourself, you are the controller, and you are the maker, and you are the god that have the remote to control this energy. You are so negative and jealous, so eventually the energy will turn into that angle. It will turn into that angle because you are a jealous type. If your friend got or get a man, and this man is so ready to get married to this friend of yours, and the friend comes to you and tell you that, my sister, my friend, I've gotten somebody who is interested in me, because you are a jealous type, automatically at the moment you feel jealous, your within energy would decline that good news. That no, you start feeling jealous. At the moment you start feeling jealous, you start wishing the person bad. At the moment you make that wish, then that witchcraft energy will take place to the negative direction. When it takes place into the negative direction, then that marriage will not come on. This is how witchcraft mostly operate, because whatever wish they wish, whatever thing they think, it manifests. Because that power is a power of manifestation. Being it negative or positive, you have the access, you have the controller, you have the control to control that energy. You have the access to maneuver yourself around it. Whatever you choose to do with it, it's up to you. So because it's the energy of what? Creation, is the energy of manifestation. Whatever thing you wish to manifest, it will come to pass, because you always anchored in Astra. Because when your Kundalini begins to rise to a certain level, your astral body begins to vibrate. When your astral body vibrates, it's anchored in its full capacity. When your astral body anchored into his full capacity, that is when one goes to bed, automatically, then you see the astral body begins to project. Any point in time the person wishes, because the astral body has already anchored within itself and it's vibrant. So this is when people says that witches normally get out from the body at any point in time. So our forefathers, our ancestors, they have created a formula, a method that has to do with the externally, not the internally. Not as in you meditating or you reciting some sort of mantra. They have created a formula, an external formula, and this external formula has to do with herbs, has to do with an external material, either herbs or an animal, or anything that has to do with an external source of energy. They have sat down quietly and created this formula for people, for those of the people who cannot channel within and activate it naturally. So this formula, it is what normally our ancestors does. Then you hear that they have prepared a witchcraft for him. They have given him a witchcraft. Sometimes they can even give you something to swallow. That thing, when it enters inside your body, it goes directly to that particular portal. Then it will activate that portal. Then boom, something happens. They will sometimes give you something to bath. Then boom, then something will happen. They just give you something to put it under your eyes. Boom, then something will happen. They give you something to wash your face. Then boom, something to happen. Those are the external source of what? Energies that when they put them together, it amounts to a certain frequency. When that frequency is being set and you use it, it eventually activates that within supernatural energy. So witchcraft, it is never a dangerous thing when it's being understood, but it can be dangerous when it is not understood. So witchcraft, it is not something one should be afraid of. It is something one should embrace, practice it well, and master it. When one embraces that and master it very well, the within gets peace, the within gets organized, the within gets perfect. You and I all know the Westerners never talk about, they never say good things about we Africans. Anything that has to do with African is evil. Anything that has to do with black is evil. So your source of creation, your source of power, your source of energy, your source of existence, your source of awareness, your source of enlightenment, they have demonized it. So you yourself, you as the watcher, you are afraid of your own self, because your true self is the witchcraft, the supernatural energy that people misunderstood it, and they started, practicing it in a negative way to their own self-interest, in the negative way because they are so selfish, in the negative way because they are so evil themselves, in the negative way because they are so corrupt, in the negative way because they are cancerous, in the negative way because they are dangerous. But the energy itself, it is not evil. So master your witchcraft. Have you mastered your witchcraft? If yes, put it in the comment section. If you have not, are you ready to master your witchcraft? If yes, put it in the comment section. Thank you.